Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kripa classes. Our today's topic is e-business. In this course, we will discuss what is e-business, name the three strongest trends that are shaping businesses, discuss the scope of e-business, what is meant by B2B e-commerce, what is difference between B2C and C2C e-commerce, what is the meaning of intra-B e-commerce, what are the various benefits of e-business, what are the limitations of e-business, and what is the difference between traditional business and e-business. Now we will understand the meaning of e-business. In the previous course, we had understood what business services are, what are the various types of business services, and how do they help in the growth of the business. We had learned about banking and insurance. Now in this course, we will study emerging modes of businesses. The business had been practiced since ancient times. For example, human beings in the distant past followed barter system and business was being done face to face. The modes or ways of conducting business have differed over the times. The way business is done has undergone substantial changes during the last decade or so. Now the time is of e-business. Buying and selling of products and services takes place over the internet. We are using mobiles, laptops, PCs, etc. and internet in our business activities, which has increased our productivity and efficiency. The three strongest trends that are shaping businesses are as under. First is e-business, second is business process outsourcing, that is transfer of non-core area, and third is internationalization and globalization. In an effort to improve business processes, be it production, purchase, marketing, or finance, business thinkers or business managers are always busy in developing newer and better ways of doing things. Business firms are taking all possible steps to meet the competitive pressures. They are strengthening their capabilities to ensure better quality, speedier delivery to customers, better customer service, etc. E-business refers to the use of web, internet, intranets, extranets, or some combination thereof to conduct business. E-business means business with the help of internet. The term e-business was coined by IBM's marketing and internet team in 1996. In case of e-business, the buyer and seller do not meet personally. Suppose we are engaged in the business of manufacturing a screwdriver. We received an order for manufacturing 10,000 screwdrivers. Our factory produced the first set of 500 screwdrivers, which was having one side. This is one side. On sale, the buyer pointed out a fault that the screwdriver was to have two sides. This is one side, this is the other side. If we were living in the past, we would have gone to factory to tell the workers about the necessary change in the screwdriver. But now we, while sitting in the shop, can send an email to the person in charge at factory to make necessary changes in the screwdriver, and the work to bring about necessary change in the screwdriver will start immediately. We can also now use mobile to talk with the factory manager for this purpose. This is e-business. That is, we are using internet and electronic items in our business activities. Now we take another example of e-business. Suppose we are living in 1950s and we are running a grocery shop. We suddenly found that bathing soap has run out of stock. The supplier or producer is located 500 kilometers away. We will have to depute someone to go to that seller and place the order. In the meantime, there is loss of our business till the fresh consignment arrives. But now, in the present times, we can place the order to supplier or producer using mobile or email through PC, and the process for the supply of products will start immediately. Now you can also make the payment to the seller online through internet banking or Google Pay, etc. But in the past, say 1950s, the payment was made in cash. This is e-business when we have not to go anywhere to purchase anything or to make payment in person in cash. We can do purchasing and make payment online. We may also add that we have already uploaded many courses like email writing, future tense, past tense, present tense, cyber security, most common mistakes in English grammar, letter writing, web applications, forms of business organizations, DBMS, debate writing, note writing, and many more. You can look out for the same on our own website, YouTube, Google, Udemy, Tutorials Point, etc. Now we will study scope of e-business. The scope of e-business is quite vast. Almost all types of business functions can be carried out over computer networks such as production, finance, marketing, and personal administration, then managerial activities like planning, organizing, and controlling. We can also understand the scope of e-business by understanding the people or parties involved in electronic transactions. A brief discussion of various constituents of e-business and inter and intra transactions among them is given as below. First is B2B e-commerce. Here, e-commerce transactions take place between two businesses and hence the name B2B. B means business. That is online businesses transactions between a manufacturer and wholesaler or a wholesaler and retailer. In this picture, it has been shown that a wholesaler places an order on the company's website, and after receiving the consignment, the seller sells the product to the final consumer who comes to buy the product at wholesaler's retail outlet. B2B transactions are the backbone of automobile industry. A car manufacturing company requires a large number of components such as tires, batteries, lights, door locks, etc. Many such components are usually manufactured by various companies and sold directly to automobile manufacturer. A network of computers is used for placing orders, monitoring production, and delivery of components and making payments. A book publisher can purchase paper online from a paper manufacturing company. Such type of B2B transactions do not take place only in the automobile industry but in each and every type of industry. Service providers also engage in B2B transactions. Companies specializing in housekeeping and industrial cleanup often sell these services exclusively to other businesses rather than individual customers. IndiaMart is India's largest B2B marketplace connecting buyers with suppliers. While many of us purchase online as consumers, we are unaware that worldwide B2B digital commerce sector is bigger than the B2C market. Now we discuss B2C e-commerce. B means business and C means customer. As the name implies, B2C business to customers transactions have business firms at one end and its customers on the other end. B2C e-commerce means transactions between online retailers and their customers. A customer can view products on the website of the business organization and choose a product and order the same. Website will send a notification to the business organization via email, and the organization will dispatch the product to the customers. Some companies operate as both B2B and B2C businesses. For example, an events management company may offer wedding organization services and at the same time may also provide conference management services to other businesses. Consumers these days are becoming very choosy. They require tailor made products which suit their requirements. They also want the convenience of delivery and payment at their pleasure. With the onset of e commerce, all this has become a reality. Further, B2C e commerce has enabled the companies to conduct online surveys to ascertain who is buying what and what the customer satisfaction level is. In case of B2C e commerce, business firms carry out extensive market research to find out the needs and preferences of the customers and also use social media marketing, email marketing, and advertising to attract the customers. Now we will learn about consumer to consumer e-commerce, that is C2C e-commerce. In this case, business originates from the consumer and the ultimate destination is also consumers. Thus the name C2C e-commerce. C2C represents a market environment where one customer purchases goods from another customer using a third party online platform. This is the third party online platform, and this is the first customer, and this is the second customer. This is one is the seller and other is the buyer. C2C business model helps consumers to sell their assets like residential property, cars, motorcycles, etc., or rent a room by publishing their information on the third party platform or website. Website may or may not charge the consumer for its services. Another consumer may opt to buy the product of the first customer by viewing the post or advertisement on the website. C2C e-commerce has gained popularity with the arrival of internet and companies such as eBay, Quicker, OLX, etc. Now, intra-B e-commerce. This refers to the electronic transactions between the different departments or divisions of the same business firm. Hence, the name intra B e-commerce. They use intranet. It is largely due to use of intra B commerce that today it has become possible for the firms to go in for flexible manufacturing. Use of computer networks makes it possible for the marketing department to interact constantly with the production department and get the customized products made as per the requirements of the individual customer. D-Brand, a Toronto-based company, provides customer with customized service. Computer-based interactions among the various departments of the same firm lead to efficient inventory, proper cash management, greater utilization of plant and machinery, effective human resource management, and effective handling of customers' orders. Now we will study benefits of e-business. First is easy to set up. It is easy to start e-business. You can set up an online business even by sitting at home. You need not go anywhere. The only requirements are relevant software, a device, and the internet connection. The cost of setting up and operating an e-commerce store is very less as compared to traditional store. Further, the transaction cost is effectively very less. The second benefit of e-business is 24 by 7 availability. In case of traditional business or brick and mortar retail shop, the shop remains open for fixed hours, say 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. But once you have your own website, there is no restriction of business hours. It is easier for the customer to do online shopping at your online store at his convenience, irrespective of the day or time. The flexibility in working hours is now also available to the organizational personnel of many companies, whereby they can do their work from wherever they are and whenever they want. E-business offers the advantage of accessing anything, anywhere, anytime. Now, the third benefit of e-business is speed. Now, buying and selling of goods can be done at the click of a mouse. Further, information intensive products such as softwares, movies, music, ebooks, and journals can even be delivered online. Time gap between the origin of demand to its fulfillment is substantially reduced due to usage of internet and computer networks in performing business activities. Now, the fourth benefit of e-business is global reach or access. There are no geographical boundaries for electronic business. Now, with the help of internet, the seller can access the global market, and on the other hand, the buyer has the freedom to choose products from almost any part of the world. Fifth point is movement towards a paperless society. Use of internet has considerably reduced dependence on paperwork. Electronic communication systems such as email, video conferencing, has reduced the usage of papers as we can communicate with others in an online manner. Even the government departments and regulatory authorities are increasingly moving in this direction where they allow electronic filing of returns and reports. Now, the sixth benefit is immediate price comparison. Your customer can compare your prices with your competitors to ensure that they get the product at the lowest price or competitive price. Now, after having studied the benefits of e-business, we will study limitations of e-business. E-business is not all that rosy. Doing business in the electronic mode suffers from certain limitations, which are as under. First is physical delivery of the product takes time. In the traditional business, you get the product as soon as you buy it from the shop. But that does not happen in the case of e-business. This time lag between placing an order and receiving the product often discourages the customers. At times, due to technical reasons, websites take unusually long time to open. This may further frustrate the user. However, e-business companies are now trying to resolve such issues by promising very limited delivery times. For example, Amazon now assures 1 day delivery. This is an improvement but does not resolve the issue completely. Now we come to the second limitation of e-business, and this is low personal touch. E-business lacks warmth of interpersonal interactions. Further, we cannot touch or feel the product. To this extent, it is relatively less suitable mode of business in respect of product categories requiring high personal touch, such as garments, personal care products, etc. Now, the third limitation of e-business is security issues. Scams are one of the reasons for people's distrust in electronic business. Hackers can easily get customers' financial and personal details. Some customers still find it hard to trust electronic business because of the lack of security, reliability, and integrity issues. Fourth limitation is poor internet connection. Some countries and territories still have poor internet connections. This makes it difficult for the customers living in such lands to buy the products online. Fifth limitation is people's resistance. The process of adjustment to new technology and new way of doing things causes stress and a sense of insecurity. As a result, people may resist an organization's plans of entry into e-business. Sixth limitation is need for technology capability of the parties to e-business. E-business requires that both the parties, that is buyer and seller, message sender and receiver, etc., are familiar with the world of computers. A person who does not has internet facility on his mobile or computer cannot go in for online shopping. Now, the next limitation is ethical fallouts. Nowadays, when we are working in a business organization, we use computers to keep record for various items, for sending mails, and also for visiting various websites, etc. Many companies use an electronic eye to keep track of the computer files you use, your email account, the websites you visit, etc. Is it morally correct? Now we will understand the difference between traditional business and e-business. First, we will understand the meaning of traditional business as well as e-business. A traditional business setup has a physical presence and it serves people locally by providing goods and services through big brick and mortar stores. It means that in the case of traditional business, usually there is a shop or a mall where the customer comes and the shop owner provides the goods or services to the customer. That is, it has a proper setup. It has its own building or on rent, or and it has furniture and other types of facilities which are provided to the customers who visits the shop or mall. But in the case of e-business, e-business means electronic business. It means the business which is carried out with the help of web, internet, intranets, extranets, and some combination thereof. Next is, in case of traditional business, cost of setting up traditional business is very high. Whereas in the case of e-business, the cost of setting up is very low. In the case of traditional business, operating cost is very high because it is quite possible that the business owner or the mall owner may have taken the loan from the business organizations. It has also to spend on electricity expenses. There are many other types of fixed charges in the shape of salary to the employees and many other expenses. Whereas in the case of e-business, operating cost is less as compared to traditional business. In the case of traditional business, whenever a customer visits a shop or any other such type of location, the delivery of the products is immediately made to the customer as demanded by the customer. But in the case of e-business, delivery of the goods takes time, because in case of e-business, first the order is placed on the website and then the order is dispatched through courier or other means and it reaches the customer after some time. Next is scope of business. In the case of traditional business, scope of business is limited, as traditional business is limited to a particular area. It means that usually a shop or a mall is located in a particular area and it serves the people who are living nearby, and its customers are residing mostly nearby. Whereas in the case of e-business, scope of business is big, as there are no geographical boundaries. Seller can sell his products in the global market. Next is, traditional business is available during the fixed hours, as the shop or brick and mortar stores are open during the particular timings only. Whereas in case of e-business, it is available round the clock. You can carry out online purchases at any time of the day or night from anywhere in the world. In the case of traditional business, response time for meeting customers' requirements is long. in the case of e-business, this response time is instantaneous because the customers sometime may demand a product from the shop which may not be available with the shopkeeper. So the response time may be long. But in the case of e-business, when a particular product which is shown on the website is placed and the order is placed for the said product and you make the payment, then the response time is immediate and that product and the delivery of that product will take place after that. Physical presence is required in the case of traditional business as there must be someone who attends the customer in physically, whereas in the case of e-business no requirement of physical person is required because the customer approaches the online website which is working 24 hours. Next, in the case of traditional business, semi-skilled and even unskilled manpower serves the purpose. Whereas in the case of e-business, technically and professionally qualified personnel are required. In the case of traditional business, face-to-face interaction is possible. Whereas in the case of e-business, face-to-face interaction is absent because the person who is buying the product does not know the seller and the seller does not know the customer buyer personally. Next difference is with regard to physical inspection. In the case of traditional business, goods can be physically inspected before purchase, whereas in the case of e-business, goods cannot be inspected physically before purchase. For example, we cannot check the quality of the garment or the beauty care products in case of e-business. Now we conclude this course. E-business offers the advantage of accessing anything, anywhere, anytime. It has removed the time and space constraints for the business firm. Though e-business is high-tech, it suffers from the limitation of being low in personal touch. Besides, there are concerns over security of e-transactions and privacy of the people who transact business over the internet. After going through its benefits and limitations, it is clear that e-business is here to stay and is prepared to reshape the businesses, governance and economies. It is therefore necessary that we become aware of how e-business is conducted. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.